Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily. My favorite makeup today is this, although I'm not wearing it at the moment, but this is the Steal the Glitter and Glow Liquid Eyeshadow. This is in the shade Smoky Storm. I'm just really impressed with this. I'm down in Florida right now and I was performing outdoors and this actually stayed in place all day long. I didn't get any fallout and I just had a beautiful glitter effect for the rest of the day. When I got home at night and I was scrubbing it off, I had to take that off with my makeup remover. So I'm just really impressed with the longevity of this, even in like incredibly humid conditions. I think it was like 83 degrees, like 75% humidity. It was pretty gross, but I'm really impressed with this makeup. It's really great. So on to the video. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a face of a lot of new Wet n Wild products. So what I picked up the brand new reformulated Comfort Zone palette. I was really excited to actually find this in a store. I also picked up one of the Megaglo highlighters. This one is in Blossom Glow. This one was also new to me in terms of me actually finding it in a local place. So I'm excited to try that out as well. And I also picked up one of the liquid Catsuit metallic lipsticks. This is in the shade Bali and Love. So I'm excited to try this one. And just to make it fun, I also picked up the Wet n Wild PhotoFocus foundation. I picked the shade Buff Bisque, which says it's light and medium, and with a neutral undertone. So we're fingers crossed that this is going to work. I've never tried this foundation before, but I figured for $4.99, couldn't go wrong with that. So let's get started. So this foundation has like a little paddle with foundation, so I'm going to just sort of put that on the sponge and see if I can just buff that in. To be honest, this smells like paint. Like middle school paint, like I'm in an art room. I'd call this sort of a maybe medium coverage, kind of light to medium coverage. It's not covering a lot, but it is sort of evening out my skin tone. I don't think it's a bad color match. It's probably about as good as I'm gonna get, because my skin's a little bit unhappy at the moment, plus I'm sort of getting a tan. But I actually don't think it's a bad color. Yeah, this might be medium coverage, but barely. I'm gonna try to put a little bit more like under this eye area because I wanna see if I can cover up some of my spots there. Okay, so I do think it is buildable. It's definitely not super thick coverage, but it looks pretty good on my skin, I have to say. The smell has dissipated. I can still smell it on the sponge itself, but I don't smell it on my face, so that's fine. I don't mind that. Unfortunately, they did not have a powder in the right shade for me, so I didn't pick up anything to set this. So I'm going to set this with my Kat Von D Lock-It setting powder in the shade Translucent, and I'll be right back. So far, I like the way this feels on my face. I don't feel like I'm wearing makeup, like I'm not conscious of it sitting on my skin. Plus, my skin is evened out. It's a little tacky in the places I haven't powdered because I don't usually powder my entire face because I still want to put some other products here, so I haven't powdered there yet. But otherwise, it appears, it feels pretty nice on the skin and it feels pretty nice to the touch now that I have powdered in those places. So, depending on how this wears, fingers crossed on this. I'll definitely do a follow-up on how everything wears on a different day. It's just the way the filming schedule is going to work out. I don't have time to do both in one. Since I don't have a Wet n Wild blush, I'm going to be using my Project Pan blush, which is the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush. This is in the shade Party. That's the birthday blush you could get at Sephora last year. I'm really getting tired of this blush, to be perfectly honest, so I'm really looking forward to using it up. I've also dropped it several times and had to repress it. It's still performing fine. I'm just sick of using it, to be honest. I enjoy project panning. It's good to have, a goal in mind, but I think next time I will make slightly different choices because I think I picked a few things I don't particularly care for or I'm just sort of like about, and I feel like I'm neglecting stuff I like way better just to use up the product, which I don't think is necessarily the intention of a project pan. I mean, it could be for some people. You just want to use up stuff you don't like as much so you can actually concentrate on the stuff that you do, but I think for this, it sort of like told me I need to be more ruthless in my decluttering because I don't want to keep stuff I'm just sort of like about. I think it's a good blush formula. I like the blush fine. It's not the color I necessarily want to be wearing every day, but it's a good blush. There's nothing wrong with it, but I think I would pick something more interesting to me to wear on a regular basis. And so this is Blossom Glow. This looks like a very shimmery pink. It looks a lot shinier, I think, than sort of like my Precious Petals or Crown of My Canopy looks. So I'm curious to see what this is actually going to look like on my skin. So, ooh. Oh, that's really blinding. That's lovely. Oh, I quite like that one. That's a lot prettier than I was expecting it to be. All right, let's put this on. Let me grab my highlighter brush. Oh, I'm excited. I love a good shiny highlight. That's beautiful. All right, I guess I should really just order these online if I can't find them in stores. They're definitely worth it. I mean, for the price point alone. I really have been enjoying my drugstore highlighters lately. I mean, I love my high-end ones, don't get me wrong, and I know I saw pictures of the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit that's coming out in like a couple months. I think it's summer 2018, and it looks really shiny and awesome. I'm totally gonna get it, but you know, I love a good highlighter, and these Wet n Wild ones, are really good. I'm really enjoying that. Look at that swatch. That swatch crazy. All right, so next we're going to be using the new Comfort Zone palette. This is a palette I've never actually found before in a store. I was always excited to try it out because I've heard just wonderful things about this palette. So there's definitely a lot of colors to pick from. I know they sort of give you like a guide on the back of how to do your eyes either for day or for night. But I think I'm just going to try a couple colors and, you know, see what we get. So I am going to try to use that transition shade. I'm going to put that on my lid and bring that up into my crease. And see what that looks like on my skin. This is very, very, very pigmented on my brush. So tap that off just a little bit. Oh, well, that's quite impressive, I must say, actually. Well, that's like the easiest eyeshadow I think I've applied in forever, kind of. Like right off the bat, this color. I know I have a similar color to this, I think in Subculture, that I really like as a transition shade, and I'm sure I have a brown just like this in my Too Faced mini chocolate bar that I use as a transition shade. But this looks great. It's really pigmented, easy to work with, goes on very nicely. Let's see how they blend. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of this lighter shade here and put that on my brow bone. That is in fact what the back of this says to do, so let's try that out and see what that looks like. Oh, it's very shiny. It's a nice shimmer shade. It's very pretty. I think I'm going to take that green shade and I'm going to take that in my outer corner. So 2 down from the transition shade. I'm going to take this shade here. I'm going to put that in my inner corner and see what that looks like. I'm not sure how light that's going to be. I want to put a little something there. Oh, that's actually a very nice gold. I think that's a good choice. And because it's me and I can't help myself, I'm going to take that sort of like bluish, like duochrome shade that I sort of touched a little bit with my finger already. I'm going to tap a little of that in the center of my lid. I just want to see what that looks like. And that's my eye look. It's pretty basic and neutral, I would say, for me. It's sort of like a nice daytime look, but I quite like it. I found these shadows were really easy to work with. They look nice on the eyes. They go on fairly pigmented for what they are. So I'm pretty impressed with this. So last up, we're going to try the Liquid Catsuit Metallic Lipstick. This is in the shade Bali in Love. I actually haven't tried any of these metallic ones before. And frankly, I can't even remember if I've even tried a regular liquid catsuit, but I thought that the metallic ones looked really pretty, so I picked one up. And this is what the applicator looks like. It's sort of got a little curve to it. It's looking a lot kind of like one of the Milani ones I tried the other day, which I really liked that applicator, actually. It was great. It doesn't smell like much, but it sort of smells like art supplies, which I don't find a displeasing smell, but it's kind of like how the foundation kind of smelled like paint. This smells like something else related to that, but very, very faintly. I don't think it's going to annoy me. It certainly doesn't smell like cupcakes like some of my lip stuff does. So first pass, this is a little grainy feeling, and it didn't look like it was particularly opaque, so I'm going to try putting another layer on top. But I mean, it feels all right. It's got a really interesting texture to it. Layering it does not appear to be a good idea. I think I'm going to take this off and try it again. I can live with it not being completely opaque. I can't live with it being chunky. So take 2. And so there's the Liquid Catsuit. It does look very pretty. I do think it's a nice color. It feels fine on the lips. It's a little grainy on the lips at first, but as it's drying, it kind of goes away. My one thing with it is that I tried to put 2 layers on top of this and it immediately sort of like balled up on itself and kind of got gross. So I would not recommend trying to do that. However, I do think the color is very pretty. It has dried pretty fast. So there you have it. That's all the Wet n Wild products I've tried today. So what I will do is I'll do a follow-up video in a couple of days and let you know how this wears and if I'll try some different things with some of it. maybe do some different looks with the Comfort Zone palette. But so far, like, I really love the way the highlighter looks on my skin, and I've already had experience with that particular formula, so I'm high hopes that's going to be good. I think that the eyeshadow looks very pretty and it's very inexpensive. This liquid lip, we're going to have to try it out and see if it comes off on things, if I can add extra layers to it after it dries, that sort of thing. But, you know, I do think it looks very pretty right now, and it feels okay on the lips, but, you know, only time will tell on that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content on this channel, please subscribe. If you've got a suggestion for a video that you'd like to see me do, please put that in the comments below. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye!